Hello friends, welcome to the second part of this class test 1 question paper discussion. So here in this video we will discuss about the second question, that is about the AC circuits. Okay, so let's start the solution part. So first question is about the 2A, which stands for the 4 marks, right? So it's a theoretical question, and question is about the definition of average value and effective value of an alternating current. Right. So what is average value, what is effective value, that we have discussed in the class also. Now I will read out the definition here for you. What is this? Average value. The average value of an alternating current is expressed by that steady current which transfers across any circuit the same charge as is transferred by that alternating current during the same time. Right. So this is the definition, and in mathematical expression we can write it using this expression, where I of t, that is the instantaneous equations for the current equation, in the form of Im sin omega t, right. So this is about the average value. In the similar way we can define effective value. So most of you may have the doubt that what is effective value, that is nothing but RMS value, right. So what is RMS value? The value of an alternating current is given by that steady current which, when flowing through a given circuit for a given time, produces the same heat as produced by the alternating current when flowing through the same circuit for the same time. Right. So this is the definition for effective value, or we can say RMS value, and this is the expression IRMS you can see in mathematical form, where again the I stands for the instantaneous equation of current, that is Im sin omega t, right. So in this manner we have to define the average value and effective value. Now next, moving for the second question. So it's a series RL circuit, you can see in the screen. This question has already been discussed in a video, special video about the series RL circuit. You can refer this solution in that video. I'll give that link in the description box, please check from there. Now I'll move to the third question, that is question number 2C. Okay, so question number 2C, as you can see in the screen, here we are having a resistor in series with an inductor and a capacitor, right. So some informations are given, so let's first write what are the different datas are given. Okay, so this is our next question. In this question we have been given that a series RLC circuit is there, where R has the value of 10 ohms, and for the information about inductor and capacitor are given with the voltage. Okay, 50 volt is across the inductor and 60 volt is across the capacitor. With that we have the supply voltage, supply current of 5 ampere, right. So this information has given. Now what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the impedance of the circuit, power factor, power dissipated in the circuit, and then last we have to draw the phasor diagram. So let's check that how to go for the solution. So first of all, what I want the impedance of the circuit, right. So for impedance I should have the values of resistance XL and XC. These values I should be with us, right. So how to calculate it? That XL is what? XL is equals to voltage across the inductor divided by current. The current is same, is in series circuit, right. So what is the voltage across inductor? It is given as 50 volts and current is 5 ampere. So the XL value is coming as 10 ohms. Similarly we can have the value of XC, that is voltage across the capacitor divided by current. So it is 60 by 5. So the value is coming as 12 ohms, right. So we got the value of XL and XC. Now what is impedance? The first part solution, that is equals to R plus J XL minus XC. This is the format, where R is 10 ohms plus J, XL is 10 minus 12. Okay, so this value we got. So what is the actual impedance now? That is 10 minus J2. We got this as the impedance. It's better to have the value in polar form also, so I am using the calculator. So this is the value of impedance in polar form, right. So we got the value of first part. Now what is the second part? That is about the power factor. Second part, we have to calculate the power factor. Now how to calculate? We can have the cosine of the phase angle, but right now we don't have the phase angle, so we can go for the calculation of R by Z. Now what is R? That is 10 ohms given. What is Z? The magnitude of Z is 10.198, right. So this is about the R by Z. Now what is the calculation? Let's check. So here the value we are getting is 0.981. Okay, so this is the value of power factor. Now power factor, we have to mention the lead or lag term here, right. We have to mention either the power factor is coming as leading or lagging. So how to check that? Here what is the impedance we are getting? 10 minus J2, that means a capacitive effect, right. Although we are having the inductor also, but because of the net impedance we are getting the overall as a capacitive effect, right. So capacitive effect means current will lead the voltage, so here the power factor will be of leading nature. Okay, so this is our power factor answer. Now what is the next calculation? That is about the power calculation, power dissipated in the circuit, right? So power dissipated, how to check? Power dissipated means what? We have to calculate the active power. So formula for that is VI cos phi. We have the value of power factor, we have the value of current, but we don't have the value of voltage. So we can have I into Z, that calculation we can have, but no need to go for that calculation. It's better to have the solution with I square R term. What is I? I is given as 5 amperes, 5 square into what is R, that is 10 volts. Okay, so here you will get how much? That is 250 watts. So this is the power consumption for this circuit. Now last part, we have to draw the phasor diagram. Okay, phasor diagram for this circuit. Now it is very important because we are having several information here. So what should be mentioned and how, that is important. So you should focus here. See, what are the different quantities we are having? We have the supply current, that is 5 ampere. Okay, 5 ampere. Now we have the voltage across the inductor, that is 50 volts. Voltage across the capacitor, that is 60 volts. Okay, so these many informations we are having. So these three terms should be represented in phasor diagram. Now what should be taken as a reference? Obviously the supply current. So we are taking it as a reference, that means 0 degree. So this is my current and it is at 0 degree. Okay. Now VL and VC, right? VL and VC, what should be the angle of it? So we know that when we go for the series connection, there the format for the net voltage is how? It is VR plus JVL minus JVC. Okay, so here plus JVL means plus 90 degree phase shift, minus JVC means minus 90 degree phase shift. And what about the VR? VR we are having at the 0 degree, or we can say at the reference, right? So VR is always in the phase of current. So here we can have the value of VR, right? So this will be the phase for VR. Now what will be VL? That will be with plus J sign JVL and minus J sign, this is minus JVC. Okay, no need to write this VR because it is not given in the question. I have mentioned it just to make you understand that how VL and VC is coming. It is coming with the reference of VR. Okay, and VR is coming with the reference of current. So this is our phasor diagram for this particular question, right? So this should be the solution. Okay, so this is about the question number 2C. Now it's better we should go for the next question, that is question number 2D. So we are at the last question. So the question you can read out. Here we are having two impedances, 4 plus J10 and 6 plus J4. Okay, and these two impedances are connected in parallel and the total power dissipated is 600 watts. We have to calculate the power taken when these impedances are connected in series across the same supply. Okay, so this question is somewhat lengthy but conceptual. Okay, it is very important question. What is the condition here? Here we are having two cases. First case, that impedances are connected in parallel connection, and in second case that same impedance will be connected in series. Okay, so we have to solve it in two cases. So first we will check what is the first case when it is connected in parallel. Yes, so in first case we are having the parallel connection. Okay, the supply is 600 watts. Now what is the condition here? We have been given the condition that the same setup means the same impedances will be connected in series with the same supply, right? So supply will be same, and at that condition we have to check what is the power dissipated. Okay, so supply is same, that means the voltage will be same, supply voltage will be same. So what is the aim here? That we should know the value of voltage, whatever voltage we are getting across this setup, the same voltage we can apply to the series connection. Okay, so the first aim is to calculate the voltage across this system, right? So how to check that? That we have been given with the power dissipated, that means active power, right? So active power is how much? I square R, that value is given as 600 watts. If I can get the value of net resistance of this circuit, then I can get the value of current, and then with the help of current we can get the value of voltage, right? So that will be the procedure. So first of all we have to check what is the net impedance. So that is the parallel combination of Z1 with Z2. So here we are having 4 plus J10 and 6 plus J4. So this will be the calculation. Better you set your calculator in complex mode and check the value. Okay, so this is our answer, net impedance of this parallel connection. Okay, this is in rectangular form and in polar form. So here one information we can get. What is that information? What is the format of impedance? That is R plus Jx. This is the format for impedance in AC circuits. Now what is the real term? That represents the resistance, and the imaginary term represents what? The reactance of the circuit. So here with the comparison we can get the value of resistance, net resistance of the circuit, that is 3.054 ohms. Okay, I have just compared these two equation and I got this value as the resistance value 3.054 ohms. Okay, hope you are getting. So this is the value of resistance. I got the value of resistance. Now what is I square? That is P by R. P is given as 600 divided by resistance, we got it as 3.054, right? So what will be current here? So we are getting 14.0165 ampere. So this is the current. This current we are getting for parallel connection, right? So what is the supply voltage? Supply voltage will be I into Z. Okay, so I is 14.0165. What is Z? That is the net impedance. We got it 4.514. Okay, magnitude. So what will be the product? So we are getting 63.270 voltage. So this is the value of the supply voltage when the system is connected in parallel connection. Now the supply is same and the system has been converted into series connection, right? So in series connection we have to check what is the power dissipation. That is our question. So let's move for the second case when we are having the series connection. Okay. Yes, so this is the second case where we are having the same impedance now connected in series connection. Okay, and now what is the voltage across this? That is 63.270 volts. Just now we have seen, right? So now we have the Z1 and Z2 value. So what will be the total impedance or net impedance of this circuit? That is Z1 plus Z2. That means 4 plus J10 plus 6 plus J4. So the value is how much? 10 plus J14. Okay, better to have the polar form also. So this is my net impedance. Okay, now what is the next step? I have the supply voltage, so I can get the value of current here, right? So that is I, so that will be equals to V by Z. V we are getting as 63.270 divided by impedance is how much? 17.204 magnitude. Okay, so what is the ratio we are getting? So the value of current we are getting is 3.677 ampere, right? So this is the value of current, right? Now what we have to calculate? The power dissipated. Okay, power dissipated. So power dissipated, again active power, we can go with the calculation of I square R. Even we can have the calculation of V square by R also, right? But it's better to go for I square R. What is I? That is 3.677 whole square into resistance. Now what is resistance? Again we are having the net impedance is 10 plus J14. So what is the real term? That represents the resistance. So that is the value of net resistance of this circuit. Okay, so this is the final answer. Let's check what we are getting. So the answer is coming as 135.239 watts. So this is our answer what has been asked. Okay, so this question is somewhat conceptual, where we have to deal with the two cases when the same impedances are connected in parallel and then in series. So what we have to consider? We have to consider the supply voltage as same. Okay, and then we had to go for the calculation, right? So that is the solution part about this second part, about the second question.